Welcome to the Nuclear Medicine Department. My name is Gift, and I'm one of the scan technologists here at Amen Clinic in Walnut Creek. This is the camera that we use for our SPECT scans, and this is a Multicam 3000. You might have heard of other imaging modalities like CT or MRI. The difference between CT and MRI versus a SPECT scan is that CT and MRI imaging looks at the anatomy of the organ system. SPECT scans looks at the function or the physiology of the organ system that the doctors want to evaluate, and in our case, the brain. Okay, and what sets the Amen clinics apart from all the other psychiatry clinics is that our doctors are able to see and evaluate the function of the brain that they're trying to look at. So that is quite a benefit for our patients. That's it for that part, sorry. So let me walk you through the scan process. Typically our patients go through 2 scans. The first scan is called concentration scan. Okay? And then I have them sit here and I start with an IV first. And then after I've established an IV, I have them take a computer test that will stimulate their brain. Okay, and here we use Connor's continuous performance test. So the stimulation test will take about 14 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes into that, I come in and give the patient through the IV the radiopharmaceutical that will track the blood flow and activity in the brain while they're being stimulated. Soon after, I will also remove the IV, then leave the room, have them finish, and after 14 minutes, the computer will stop, and then we can proceed with the scan. So the second scan is called baseline scan. Patients typically return the next day for the second scan, and they sit here. I start an IV once again because the tracer does not remain in the system. It's important to note that we require for our patients to wait a minimum of 24 hours before we can scan them again, because the tracer, we just need to make sure that their system is clear of the tracer from the previous scan. So once that I've established an IV, the patient will rest here for 10 minutes. In a dim lit room, I usually turn off this main light, leave the lamp on, and they rest here for 10 minutes with their eyes open. And then after 10 minutes, I come in, give them the same dosage tracer as I gave them from the concentration scan, remove the IV, give them another 10 minutes to rest, and then after that, we start with the scan. All right, this is the control room, and this is where I operate the gamma camera from this room, and this is also where I process the scans after imaging is done. And this is an example of a scan that I did not too long ago. This young man was brought in by his parents because he has had anger outbursts, and he has also suspected traumatic brain injury because of a recent car accident. So the beauty of a SPECT scan is that doctors are able to move the organ, since it's a 3D acquisition, and they can take a look at different angles of the brain. For this one, you could see that there is lack of blood flow on the right prefrontal cortex, and then we can also take a look at the active side of the brain. As you can see, the temporal lobes have no activity and increased activity in the occipital. Once I've processed the scans, I turn them over to our nuclear medicine team to be analyzed, and then they in turn turn them over to the doctor so that they can make their report. And the patients will be able to see the results of their scans during their evaluation, and they receive their own copies of the scans after the evaluation. So I hope this has been informative for all of you. Just a quite a summary of what goes on here in the